It's all good.
Hi, I'm Jim
And I'm Marty
from Just Push Play, and today we're talking about the death of LucasArts.
And also about some of the games that came out throughout the years that were pretty awesome.
Yeah, LucasArts set a very high bar, very high standard for games in the industry, and that's why a lot of people, from what I've seen, they're really bothered by the death of the gaming company.
It's very sad, you know?
And at first I was just really shocked. I actually felt sick to the stomach because I grew up playing LucasArts games, and they weren't just dedicated to PC, they also branched out and made great games. And you said you played Super Star Wars before?
Yeah, my greatest memories were from the Super Nintendo day, SNES days. And yes, Super Star Wars, Super Empire Strikes Back, Super Return of the Jedi. Great games, great games.
Yeah. What was your favorite part of that series?
The favorite part, although it was frustrating at the time, was dying at the hands of Darth Vader in the second game.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, LucasArts also made other great games for the PC. They made such games such as Grim Fandango, Secret of Monkey Island 1 through 4, The Dig, all really great games that have stood the test of time. Unfortunately, they also made other games that haven't been so great, such as their Star Wars Connect with Han Solo dancing to popular parody songs. But what do you think made games like Super Star Wars really popular with gamers?
Well, to think of it, you want to do some bit of comparison. Like back in the days, you have these games like from Sierra,
Yeah.
the company, and a lot of those games were super hard. And when you died, you're dead.
Yeah.
And the thing with LucasArts games, like for Star Wars, for example, sure you died in the game, but then there's like replay. Like you're playing your favorite character, and you get to play again because you want to finish the game, right?
Yeah.
And it was really fun because it's just awesome, LucasArts, man.
And like in the LucasArts games, you wouldn't ever die. Like they might make fun of like your decision.
Yeah.
And like say, oh, that's creative, but you'd never really lose. And that's, I think, the difference between LucasArts and Sierra. Sierra would punish you. You'd have to go back, and if you didn't save, then you've got problems. You have to catch up a few hours maybe of work. But LucasArts wasn't like that. They had a completely different mentality than everyone else when back in that sort of golden age of adventure gaming.
Mm-hmm.
And there were other games, Day of the Tentacle, Indiana Jones: The Fate of Atlantis. Like so many people are clamoring for that to be made into a movie. Even like that's how well that game was made, and the fact that people are still playing these games, talking about these games like a decade or 2 decades later, and just like a Nintendo game, that just goes to show how well they were put together.
Yeah, and one other thing I really liked about LucasArts games was that they were very eccentric with their titles, I mean, some of the properties you already know, like Star Wars franchise, but like the games themselves, like Secret of Monkey Island.
Yeah.
The names at the time, like a lot of games have like something Quest 1, 2, 3, 4, right?
Yeah.
And then
like that's Sierra did it.
Yeah, and
right.
LucasArts had like very inventive names, and
yeah,
they might sound funny now, but at the time it was pretty cool.
Yeah, and they avoided making sequels. Like again, they made the Secret of Monkey Island sequels. But from there they would go from like The Dig, Full Throttle, which was supposed to have a sequel, Sam and Max Hit the Road. Like those are really very different games. The humor's still top notch, the writing's great, and that's what made LucasArts stand out. There's very few companies, I would say, even today, that would have that sort of high quality. Like they would refuse to put out something that's crap. So,
yeah.
Are there any companies that you would think that that can compare to LucasArts back in their days, in their prime?
If I recall, I mean, you heard of Rare?
Yeah, Rare.
They're
yeah.
a pretty good company.
Yeah.
The games
and then
were
they
also eccentric.
Yeah, yeah. They sort of jumped around a bit too. You
Yeah.
know, they did Star Fox Adventures. They did GoldenEye 007 for the N64, which is probably one of the most well-known games that they've made. They helped make Donkey Kong Country 1 through 3.
Yeah, that was awesome.
And the ports, yeah. Unfortunately, they aren't dead. They still exist, but a lot of the people that made those really good games, you know, they've moved on to their own companies.
You remember Battletoads?
yeah, Battletoads. Like that was a game that unfortunately we're probably not going to ever see a sequel, but you know, fingers crossed.
Yeah, so even though the developers are long gone, such as Ron Gilbert and Tim Schafer, like their legacy can be ignored, you know?
Yeah, they left a unforgettable imprint on LucasArts and on the video game industry as a whole. And you know, that's from very memorable characters, fresh writing, really high quality writing. Like you can't really see that in video games anymore, unfortunately. And you know, that's why it's sad that LucasArts did get shut down just over a week ago. Also, 2 years ago, LucasArts was talking about having, you know, getting back to a more authentic, more immersive Star Wars experience. And you know, it's sad that they don't really get the opportunity to come back and, you know, hopefully make things, you know, better. You know, back in the day, they had some great games, adventure games, Super Star Wars, as you said. And you know, it's kind of sad that they were trying to go back and restructure, maybe for the third or fourth time, and they don't have the chance to, you know, release Star Wars 1313, or I believe it's First Assault was what that game was called, and also version 2. I'm not sure if you know about this, but version 2 is another game they were working on that I just read about the other day, and it was about all about vehicle combat, unlike the Assault game that they were working on. And it was actually apparently supposed to be Battlefront 3, and like a lot of people have been waiting for Battlefront 3, so now, you know, more gamers are kind of annoyed that that game's never going to see the light of day, and hopefully another company will come along and do Battlefront 3. Battlefield 3 is already out, so that's my bad. Yeah, so it's really sad that LucasArts is gone, but you know, as I said, the last few years haven't been that great. They were supposed to release Star Wars 1313.
Yes.
Yeah, and you were excited about that. You were asking me about that earlier.
Yeah, no,
so,
come on.
Yeah.
I wanted to play it.
Yeah, it was supposed to be like Uncharted meets Star Wars, and you know, ever since Disney, from what I've read, like the months before LucasArts got shut down, apparently there was a lot of like confusion. People were getting sort of paranoid at LucasArts, and they were sort of fearing the worst. They were fearing that their company was going to get shut down, and eventually, unfortunately, it did. So.
Sucks, but you know, at the same time, you could say like it's new beginnings, because they're still gonna get developers to make the games, but you know, it's gonna be missing that LucasArts touch.
Yeah, like you get used to seeing your favorite gaming company, and you're like, well, what are they up to now? And then you're so used to having them around that when a video game company does get shut down like that, or bought out, like what happened with Rare, you know, it's you know, makes you feel, you know, a little sad that, you know, now, and 150 developers lost their jobs too.
I know, that sucks.
Yeah, that's never good for the industry if people are losing their jobs, and you know, they have to pay the bills too.
Yep.
So, but any other games that that you really liked that were made by LucasArts that you played? I know I played more.
Yeah, it's been a while. But, you know, but I guess this game is a little bit I wouldn't say bad.
Yeah.
I consider like mediocre to somewhat good. Like Zombie Ate My Neighbors.
Yeah, I like that game too.
Fun,
yeah, that was good. See, like those are the type of games that you know, even today, like if that license gets bought out by someone else, then they can make an online version and like imagine like that would be so cool,
Yeah.
you know, like 4 to 16 players going around and because it's like newer technology, they could even make it so that it's no longer pixels,
Yeah.
but instead like polygons, and like they could still easily handle that online, right? Like 4 to 16 players, that would be amazing. So,
Yeah, and don't forget that nowadays people are crazed about zombies, you know?
yeah, exactly.
And,
There's
hey.
the whole zombie craze right now, and like, this is the perfect time for like maybe another company that has a lot of respect, like Way Forward.
Yep.
They're doing DuckTales right now.
Oh, yeah.
They're doing Smurfs too. Everyone's excited about that. And they did Contra 4.
Yep.
So they're sort of like the go-to company now to get games redone, to bring back stuff that we loved in the past and sort of doing them justice. Like, did you play Contra 4 or?
No,
No?
I saw the
Oh, okay.
news
You
magazine
saw.
clips. Yeah.
I might have shown you
Yeah,
it too.
could have been that. Yeah.
Yeah, but like I played Contra 4. Wow, that game is really hard. Like, there aren't many games today that are hard, but like Contra Shattered Soldier, that was another hard game for PS2. So if you want a really hard game, you don't mind, maybe smashing a controller, that game is tough. So check it out if you have the time. Contra Shattered Soldier. But yeah, Contra 4 was hard. Double Dragon Neon.
Oh yeah, I played a bit of that.
You played that?
Wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Brings back
it's
memories.
fun.
Yeah.
It sort of feels short because it's so good that you don't want it to end.
Yeah.
And I don't want to give any spoilers because I've beaten it. So, but fun game. The Double Dragon Justice, tried something new with it instead of. And there's the new Double Dragon as well.
Oh, what is it called? Do you know?
It's a remake of Double Dragon 2, but it looks gritty. But it doesn't. It's not done by Way Forward, but it's, it's more Double Dragon. But I'm not sure. I'm still on the fence about it because,
Okay.
the controls, and the graphics. Actually, no, the graphics look like PlayStation 1, maybe early PlayStation 2, and that was years ago. So I'm a little bit worried about that, and I think it's $15. So we'll have to see how that plays.
All right. Yeah.
Have a Double Dragon Bro match.
Yeah.
So, all right. Well, yeah, we can. Are there any other games that you want to cover?
No, not really. But
No?
I mean, stuff will come up.
Yeah, stuff will always come up.
Yeah.
This is Canada's capital, and we are just push play, and we're just gonna wrap it up there, and we'll see you next week.
Yeah. Thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching, and keep on gaming.